Thank you very much for taking the time.
Of course.
And I know it's a little bit nerve-wracking sitting down with famous people, but
Oh,
just relax and be yourself. You'll find we're just like everybody else. Oh man! First of all, obviously Twilight's taken off huge. The whole vampire craze has taken off huge.
Yeah.
Did you have any idea when you first got into this what you were getting into?
No way. When we first started, it was an independent film. It was, you know, like, and Summit wasn't the company that it was. It was like more of a smaller company, and now it's just like no one could have possibly imagined. I just went to the premiere on Thursday, and dude, like thousands of people and people camping out for a week just to like, and they're not even there to watch the movie. They're there to just like look at us for 5 seconds, you know. And
right.
It's just wild. Like you can't even really try to wrap your head around it because it's just ridiculous. It's crazy.
Yeah. So for people who have been living under a rock and aren't entirely sure what Twilight is or your character, let us know.
So Twilight is a vampire werewolf movie. You know, like I describe it as the teenage version or like the nicer version of like Underworld or something, you know.
Okay.
It's kind of like a modern day Romeo and Juliet story, you know. It's like a love triangle going on, and I play a character named Eric Yorkie, and I'm sort of like the comic relief, light to the dark. You know, there's so much moody stuff going on that I just bring some humor into the series.
Okay. And so you don't have any power. You're not a werewolf. You're not a vampire, right?
I can walk.
Okay. The power of deductive reasoning.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you could, I mean, if in real life, if these powers exist, but I mean, if you could, if you could be vampire or werewolf, which would you choose and why?
I think I'd be a werewolf because they're still like human, and they age, and yeah, you can still like have a normal life. Vampires like kind of morbid, you know. They're like sort of dead.
I always wanted to be a vampire though.
Yeah.
As a kid, you know?
Yeah, I did though. You know, like when I watched Interview with the Vampire,
Yeah.
I wanted to be a vampire.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
yeah.
Well, who didn't for Halloween? Who didn't go as a vampire one year, right?
That's true.
I mean, I did.
I did.
Okay. There you
Yeah.
go.
Well, you know what? I was about to dress as a hybrid. I was about to the premiere. I told my manager I was going to dress as Blade, and they got super pissed.
Oh,
You can't do that. You can't do that. I'm like, yes, I can.
What do you mean I can't do that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Give us a little bit about your background. You grew up in Irvine, is that correct?
Yeah, I grew
Okay.
up. I was born and raised. I was born in Garden Grove, and born and raised in Orange County, except for 2 years in San Diego. Just super. I grew up in a really like Jewish community.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's like my friends like Jeff Horowitz and Zach Friedman.
Horowitz.
Yeah. But it's just like really cool. You know, childhood. It was like the type of place where they put up like the cones that kids that play and play roller hockey and just like a really cool childhood. My mom was a pianist. My dad used to be an actor in South Korea, so we were always involved in the arts. Like instead of going to like summer camp, like these days they have surf camp or whatever, my parents sent me to art camp. It sucked. You know?
Art camp?
Yeah, art camp. What the
I'm going to be
hell?
honest with you, it doesn't sound like a lot
Yeah,
of fun.
yeah, jeez. And then my mom made me do boys choir where I have to wear these really short shorts and like this big boob bow and so like
Yeah. Sorry, dude.
I was just like a geek, man. I was in marching band and played the sax and
Yeah, sax is great though. Are you still into music?
yeah. I played guitar, piano.
Nice.
Played the violin for like 14 years.
Really?
Another doing with my mom. She tried to make me like. It's funny because she tried to make me into this little perfect gentleman when I was a kid. Like made me like wear polo shirts, and then it was like a big deal in my family when all of a sudden I wanted to wear like a T&C shirt, and she was like, "Oh my God, is that okay? Like, is he gonna turn like bad if he starts wearing these clothes?" I'm like, dude. But yeah, I just really, happy with my childhood actually.
And how exactly did you start in acting? Were you, I know that in the beginning you kind of did like Nickelodeon and Disney and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but where exactly, how did all that start?
So
what led you up to Twilight and everything?
I went to USC, I got a business degree, and I own like 2 shoe stores, but halfway through Dude, this was like the ultimate determining factor. I interned at an internet startup during the whole like internet bubble boom, and I hated it, dude. I hated working in the office like 12 hours a day and people telling me what to do in not a very fun way, and you know, it just sucked. Like using Excel and making PowerPoint. I was just like, dude, this sucks. I can't do this for the rest of my life. So after I came back, I enrolled in a 2-year acting program that a friend was in. He's like, hey, you should just like try acting. And I'm like, okay, well, yeah, my dad was in. Yeah, I'll just try it for fun. But at that point, I don't think there was really any like breakout Asian American kind of actors yet. I mean, John Cho had just did American Pie, but before then, it was like growing up in the '80s. It was like either you had to do martial arts or something. So it's like wasn't really a viable option to be an actor as a living. But graduated from USC and the acting school, and I was like, well, I'll give it a shot for 2 years, and then right off the bat, I started, you know, booking some stuff. Booked one of my first jobs was I did a guest spot on the show Jack and Bobby that it was on, and I'm wearing like a toga and asking someone else to prom for some other guy.
Toga?
Yeah, and I'm talking like I'm Greek or something. I'm like, Park, da Stephanie Coach, Forsooth. You know, it was just like, it was nutty. But yeah, and then financially though, I did these T-Mobile commercials. I don't know if you guys remember. It's like Poser Mobile, where I tackle this guy in a bowling alley, and I want to be gangster. Yeah, I want to be gangster. I'm like, yo, Poser Mobile, say yeah, the prepaid minutes. And then he's like, what? He's like, I just bought me.
That was you?
He's like, I just bought me. I'm like, what do I say? I go, fees, shorty, fees. That sounds stupid. 25 cents to connect. But yeah, like that actually gave me some nice change, you know. So I didn't have to get like a regular job, and from there on, just and I look young, so I just
I didn't realize you were actually 29, right?
29, yeah. I just capitalized on that, and I was like, well, you know, I should. So I did a lot of work for like Disney and Nick, and that was good because it was a good place to try stuff out and test stuff out, because I was, you know, everybody needs some sort of learning curve, and dude, I can do whatever and mess up, and it wasn't really gonna matter because who's gonna judge my acting on Nickelodeon? You know, so it really worked out good for me.
Awesome.